Okay, I do believe we are now streaming live on Facebook here. Hello, my name is Jamie J. I am the managing director and founder of Bottleneck Virtual Assistants, along with Anthony Woolever, Dr. Anthony Woolever, COO of Bottleneck. And this is the first time I have somebody on a Facebook Live doing this with me. Go ahead and say hello.
Hello, everyone.
So I can't wait to introduce you to Anthony. He's simply amazing. But one of the biggest things is I try to come live every Thursday at or around 9:30 Central Time, which would be 7:30 Pacific, 8:30 Mountain, and of course 10:30 Eastern every Thursday here for Bottleneck. And I always talk about different things on ways that you can improve your business with the assistance of having your very own virtual assistant and or assistants. And today I am super stoked to introduce you to Anthony Woolever, Dr. Anthony Woolever, who has recently come on board and has completely revolutionized Bottleneck in the way that it operates as a operations from a design point of view. He's super efficient. And today we're going to talk about how to bring value to your business through leadership. And one of the reasons that Anthony is part of our team, well, first and foremost, he's simply brilliant, but he's also really good at creating efficiencies within the business. One of the things that I wanted to talk to you about today in how to bring value to your business through leadership is exactly what Anthony has done here. The more efficient we are, the more systematic we are in our approach, the more cohesive we are as a team, the more smooth things run. Now, of course, things are going to pop up all the time, right, Anthony? They are always popping up.
At least every day.
But we are striving so hard. And if you know me at all, you know I'm big on workflows and processes and all that stuff. But for me, I might write out a workflow to get something done that is 13 or 14 steps. Anthony will take one look at that and reduce it maybe to 9 steps, 8 steps, 7 steps. And all of a sudden, we've cut out a lot of fluff that didn't really need to be there. And we made it more efficient. And this does 3 things. Number 1, it makes the team very happy. There's not as much work to do. Number 2, it's very clear what our expectations are. The communication is increasing. And number 3, our clients are happier because they know that we are an efficient company. We're working hard. We're getting things done quickly. And I just think it's a brilliant thing. So I wonder, Anthony, if maybe you can talk a little bit about, you had asked right before we jumped on here, how to bring value to your business through leadership. And you were like, what? I thought that was pretty funny, but I wonder if maybe you can touch on that because you've really brought a lot of value to the leadership process through your efficiencies, and maybe you can just touch on that for a little bit and what you've done while you've been here.
Okay. Well, the first thing is really focused on how you run your team meetings, in my opinion. I subscribe to, I believe it was John Maxwell's approach to meetings, where he talks about everyone who attends the meeting or leaves the meeting should have either presented something or received something that they needed to be at the meeting to hear or deliver. So that's one thing that I really have focused on since I've been on the team is me running the meetings. So you could actually be the CEO, the managing director, as you like to call yourself, of Bottleneck. That way you can address things as opposed to always trying to see what's next on the agenda. And then our executive assistant handles the notes from the meeting. So by me prepping the meeting and running the meeting, I just think it allows everyone to operate in their zone of genius as opposed to their zone of competence. So that's the first thing I did. And then as we're currently going through, and it will be a daily process for as long as I'm a part of the company, we'll be taking a look at the processes. As Jamie mentioned, Jamie's really good about finding a workflow to solve a present problem. But where my skill set is that solution may get us through the present problem, but it may not be the optimal solution that we need. I'm really big into if there's a 17-step process, but it can be a 5-step process, it needs to be a 5-step process as soon as possible. So those are the big areas that I bring to the table. And then also the follow-up piece, when you're running a big team, you need someone there that is following up with employees, having conversations with them, seeing what their needs are ahead of time, as opposed to always being a reactive type of company.
And I do have to thank you. Before you came on board, you sat in on a couple meetings and you saw how we ran the meetings. I lead with kindness. There's no doubt about that. But there's business to be done. And so some of our meetings were an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours long. What are our meeting times like now?
We almost hit 40 minutes this week. Almost hit 40 minutes. It got up to 50 minutes by the time we got off the call, but we're going to get it down to 40.
And we still accomplished the same goals that we wanted to accomplish.
Yep.
It was just much more streamlined.
Right.
I can't tell you. And here's the thing. My worry was that I really didn't want to bend on culture, on our culture here, on our values. I really did not want to bend on that. And you figured out a way to reduce the amount of time that we spend in these meetings, make them more productive and more efficient, and still maintain the level of culture. It baffled my mind. What were a couple of things, inefficiencies that you saw that maybe I was doing or that the team was doing that you were able to address?
Okay. Well, one, real quick to touch on the culture piece. One thing that wasn't done previously is we didn't talk about our mission and vision on the calls. So one thing I've incorporated is that's the first thing we do once the call gets started. Technically we do a quick roll call. That way anyone who may not be able to show up, the whole team knows why they're not there right away. Then we go over the mission and values. That way we start off every single meeting explaining that. That way it's just at the very least a weekly refresher. In addition to one of the requirements has been that needs to go in all of our job roles and responsibilities. So we reinforce that throughout the company. One of the first things I did that I noticed was the wins and challenges and whatnot, kind of going around the circle. People were kind of being put on the spot. It was almost like they felt like they were being put on the spot every week. So there was always a bit of a delay with their communication. So I've really reduced that. And then we've changed that into A, we do a Google form first, and then B, we went from personal win, professional win, challenges to we're just doing gratitude. One of my big passions, and the team seems to be very receptive to it, is Jamie leads with kindness. I like to lead with gratitude. I just think my personal opinion is gratitude could solve almost every problem in the world if we would find things that we're grateful for instead of focusing on what problems there are. And I felt like with what Jamie's built with Bottleneck, that was a very good piece. So and then they fill out this quick form every Monday. So rather than them get to the meeting and kind of feeling like they're caught off guard, they've at least spent a few minutes on Mondays submitting a form. So they come to the meeting a little bit more prepared. They've thought about it. So some things we've done is we're increasing communication outside of the meetings. If something can be handled from Wednesday to the following Monday before the meeting, then it needs to be handled then. So we've really reduced that. And there's something else I've done that is not coming to my mind right now.
Well, number one, first and foremost, this topic is about how to bring value to your business through leadership. With Anthony coming on board, he's made a lot of adjustments to systems that I've created. As a leader, I am completely open to these adjustments as long as they're more efficient, they help out the team better, and they make the company better. And the way that we make our decisions here, I've said in the past, is it's got to be for the company first, because if the company can't be profitable, how in the heck are we going to take care of the team? And if we can't take care of the team, how in the heck are they going to take care of our clients? And so I understand that on a foundational level. And for Anthony to come in and disrupt what we have going on. I use the word disrupt, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. Now, we communicate really well together. But if I have an idea that he doesn't agree with, he lets me know. If he has an idea that I don't agree with, I say, well, I don't know about that. Not too many times do I say that, by the way. But here's the cool part about that. This is leadership at its finest, in my opinion. And I'm not just saying that because that's me and Anthony. I'm saying it because we're open to new ideas and changing the ways that we do business to make it better for the bigger picture. There's always a bigger purpose. And we talk specifically about the changes to these meetings. Well, these meetings are super important. I can remember when I was in corporate America, my nickname was what did they call me? J time or something like that. Jamie time. It was because I couldn't stand going to the meetings. Nothing would get done. We'd listen to someone talk about something and it was mind numbing. I don't want that. And I feel that had it not been for Anthony coming in and suggesting and making these tweaks, maybe that was the direction we were going in. I've heard tons of positive feedback from the team. And I
remember the other two things.
Well, then let's go back to your other two things.
Okay. So one was the Filipino culture, and we source from the Philippines, is a very respectful, humble culture. I would say one of their top characteristics is humility. So they try to really, really go out of the way to show respect for the leaders of the team. So it would every good morning from every team member, and we have 13 team members, would say, good morning, Sir Jamie. Good morning, Sir Anthony. Good morning, Dr. Lorena. Good morning, Miss Sarah. If one of our other U.S.-based partners were on the call, good morning, sir or miss. So I realized that to me, that was creating two separate cultures, a U.S.-based culture and a Filipino culture. And I wanted to integrate those because we're one team. We're not the U.S.-based team and the Filipino-based team. It's one Bottleneck team. So rather than them go through the whole list, now we just say good morning team or good evening team, because they're in the we do our meetings in the morning, it's the evening for them. So that alone has probably taken 7 or 8 minutes out of the meetings. And then the other thing, and this isn't necessarily creating efficiencies within the meetings, but I'm really big into empowering employees to make decisions. So again, going back to the Filipino culture, they're very respectful. They're kind of taught to ask permission to do things versus just making decisions. So we're really, really focused on that. Because my position and my corporate experiences have always been, I would rather an employee make a decision and it be the wrong decision, and then we can work through why the thought process was wrong, versus them always having to come from me to make every little decision. So what we're doing now is we very much empower the team, and they're making decisions, and it's awesome because now Jamie's life is a lot easier, not having to make all these minor decisions. Something as simple as putting a column in a spreadsheet. Or, I made a decision this week to, in terms of how we were going to charge an employee or charge one of our clients. So it's just, to me, it just makes a lot more sense to empower your team. And if it's the wrong decision, we go back and we work through it versus, because we're not the type to just beat up our employees for the sake of doing it. If they make the wrong decision, we'll just work through where the breakdown in the thought process was. So I feel like we've made a lot of progress with those two things.
Yes. So that's the progress we made is insane. What I really liked about it too is a lot of times it's hard from a leadership point of view to bring somebody on and into an organization, in essence, for us. And would you consider it fair to say a family?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we're pretty tight. I think the longest has been with me probably 5 years, in RJ and a lot of other people, 2, 3, 4 years. We've been together for quite a while. And so to bring you in as part of the family has been pretty spectacular, the way that I feel that you've been received. But there's always that question, like that little bit of an adjustment or what's going to happen here. And
Well, even when you asked me to lead these meetings, I was a little nervous about disrupting culture, especially with this Good Morning team. And what I really liked is because of the humor and whatnot that you bring to the table, because I'm pretty much all business all the time. It kind of turned into a joke throughout the meeting. And I think they've really picked up on that. So it's been fun seeing how they've received my culture, and they've really taken it on and kind of applied your humor and laissez-faire type of personality to it.
Yeah. I would say if you and I were a mullet, you'd be the business in the front. I'd be the party in the back. Yeah, but no, this is, I absolutely love it. I'm glad we were able to kind of share this and share some of the experiences, and we're still tweaking things as we move forward. And that's part of leadership, is we're continually tweaking. But I have to let you know, a huge thank you and to the team for doing what you've done, because since you've been able to do that, even on the meetings where you're running the meetings, Raina is taking the notes for that meeting so that we have executable action items that we can check against our next meeting and create a sense of accountability. I'm able to make notes and do things from a different position than I've ever had before. And since this has happened, I've been more creative. It's given me an opportunity to build relationships that we need to continue growing the business. It's given me a couple extra days just from the consultations for you taking a load off there. But a lot of times you tell me, oh, don't even worry about it. Raina and I have already handled something like that. You have no idea these little bits and pieces that have completely turned my world upside down for the better. And so that's just a big heartfelt thank you to you and the team. And this again is how you build a company through good or great leadership. And so it's easing in. You kind of came in, you were very kind, and you sat back, you took notes. I could see when your head went down and you were writing. I'm like, okay, we did something wrong there. But it was really neat because you were just very, very subtle, very quiet. You just consumed, you didn't talk much. And then as the role grew a little bit and you got a little more participation, it was so clear to me that I was missing out on an incredible opportunity. And I think these little things are great examples of not only your leadership skills, but your personality, your communication. It's just very clear, and it's a freaking bright sunny day now, man. I can't thank you enough.
I'm excited to be a part of the team. It's a lot of fun.
It really is. Well, what would you like to say before we wrap up this episode or this Facebook Live? It's not really an episode.
Put me on the spot, Jamie. I don't think I have anything. I like kind of setting the expectations in team meetings each week. And I think we do a good job of setting those expectations and then following up on those expectations throughout the week. And then coming with as clean a slate as possible, especially with all the moving pieces we have with Bottleneck. So to me, if you want to be an effective leader, it really starts with communication and how you run your meetings. If you're wasting their time, they're going to be a lot less inclined to work hard for you. So I think if you show them that you care about their time and not wasting it in meetings and whatnot, that they're going to go out and work hard for you. So that's probably the last thing I want to share.
Awesome. Well, thanks again. Great tips. Hope you got something out of this. Thanks for liking this, Raz Schaefer. Appreciate that. If you have any questions at all, either for myself, Jamie at bottleneck.online, or Anthony, and what is your email? Is it Anthony at Anthony at bottleneck.online. Let us know, or comment below here. If something resonated with you, let us know. If you disagree with something, let me know. I want to hear about it. But I hope this content really helps you out. Again, we'll be back. I will not be on next Thursday. Maybe Anthony will do it. I'm not sure. But next Thursday, I will be traveling. So hopefully you get a lot of stuff out of this. Please go and visit bottleneck.online to learn more about how we can help you stop the bottleneck in your business with a virtual assistant. And we'd be happy to, and by the way, super congratulations and thanks to Dr. David Lorino. He and I successfully launched Bottleneck Medical, which is a new division of Bottleneck, but it's specifically for, and it's the first time I get to say it publicly, it's specifically, well, second time, specifically for the medical profession. We offer insurance verifications and eligibility benefits verifications. And then we also do virtual medical scribes. So they can help you physicians with your progress notes, your charting, which is the bane of their existence. At least that's what Dr. Lorino says. So go check that out at bottleneckmedical.com. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a fantastic day. And yeah, let us know how we can help you best.
Have a great day.